The waters of the Caribbean Sea had barely washed away the footprints of the shores when they took to the cane field. The dawn of indentureship appeared a long and tedious passage to a future hazed in doubt as the East Indian immigrants faced this new land of Trinidad and Tobago. And ever since, the sugarcane fields had played a significant role in their lives and their later contribution to nation building. Their task was to revive the failing sugar industry and to restore the profits of the plantocracy with raw labor of cutting the canes and other related jobs. And generations later, and with maturity, the laborers were seriously contemplating ways of escape from the menial fieldwork to a better future. A future with some measure of ease, comfort, a better self-image, and hopefully pleasure and plans for future generations. It was a time of decision, the crossroads in the lives of many, to choose new directions of endeavor in a strive for upliftment and for future goals. They were then partially liberated and free to pursue other avenues of more dignified and independent areas of livelihood, business, education, the cane field. And as the cane cutting continues still under very harsh conditions, I invite you to come along and to follow with me the many inroads out of the cane field and into other avenues of dignified success by the offsprings of these humble, indentured people dating back to the dark days of 1845. With the passage of time, the bison carts were replaced by the locomotives for the transporting of the sugar canes to the factory. Other mechanisms were introduced to relieve the burden of labor in the weighing and the loading of the crops. And despite reaping machines, which are being used in some fields, the laborious task of cutting the canes continue. One of the cane cutters of Debe, Haribant's Jack Balsing, has this to say.
We work 6 days. Sometimes the factory have a little problem, we do work on that days. But cane cutting every day for a cane cutter, we have to work every day. The more cane we advance, the better for we. That's how we earn a living.
What about your children and so on? How they get along?
Well, they get along very well. I work, I make enough money to buy my grocery to make them happy. As a father, I have to do my duty. I earn a living by cane cutting. I don't have any future again.
What about the children? You have any plans for them?
Yeah, well, while I'm going up with cane work, I'll try to see if I could educate them the best of way, because I don't want them to come in cane work. Since I'm small fella, I catch it in my backside behind it, and I don't want my children to come in at all. It's very hard. For young people especially to come in cane work now, it's very hard.
One of the early signs in business was the micro-business, the itinerant salesman with Indian delicacies which he carried in a handbasket. The delicacies included bara and chutney, sahina, aloo pies, kurma and fried chana. He walked many miles offering his items along village roads and junctions and at village functions. With the income, he was able to purchase a freight bicycle, and so he covered a wider area, reaching more and more customers. As the years went by, roadside stalls were set up to meet the people's demands for the delicacies. Here, in preparation, were on spot to provide hot and tasty dishes. However, despite the variety of sweetmeats offered, the bara and the chana became the preferred choice of the growing number of consumers. The well-known doubles, the first local fast food.
Double service. Yeah. One. Yes. But where and how the doubles really originates? Let's find out from Mustafa Ali of Harris Street in San Fernando. He's the son of one of the pioneers of the doubles from Cragnish Village in Princestown.
Ali doubles originated from Princestown before World War II, 1936 and so on. My uncle Dean, he started the doubles work. And when he saw it going good, he encouraged my father and his brother to also do the work too. And from that, well, it was just going onward. Selling every day from Princeton to San Fernando, coming to sell at Napema College.
He spoke with much reverence and gratitude about his Uncle Dean, whom he credits as the pioneer and who opened the doubles trail to his father Ali, another Uncle Chote, and also Singh of St. Croix Road in Princestown. But how did the term doubles originate?
Well, in the old days, there wasn't anything like doubles. There was Indian delicacies. Bara, chana, pulori, kachori, sahina, baigani, aloo pie, separate, everything separate. So people used to usually buy bara and chutney. And chana is separate. So when you buy a bara, you usually get some chana on it. But then the customers themselves say, put an next bara on it and double it up. You understand? So it becomes 2 bara with the chana, and right there, the doubles was born.
At 16, Mustafa Ali, a poor boy, moved into San Fernando, where he started his career with a freight bicycle on Lower High Street. The features which attracted customers to Ali's doubles were his tidy attire, the cleanliness of his wares, and his kind and gentle manner, of course, and the rich flavor of his doubles. Today, he has promoted his small business venture into the medium business level, having 15 outlets scattered in areas in North, Central, and South. His main kitchen on Harris Street in San Fernando becomes alive with culinary activities from very early morning. His wife and children have contributed and continue to be a participating force behind his success. A humble and simple person, Mustafa Ali welcomes the idea of Indian Arrival Day and hopes that it will help to showcase the virtue of how hard work and persistence can bring success to anyone willing to make that sacrifice.
Well, as starting a small business and sticking to it, being dedicated to it, it shows a clear example where, with an extra effort, that anyone can make the grade. Well, we originated from Princestown. That's a sugar area. My grandparents was cane farmers before. But as some people choose, the work is too hard for some of them, so after the indentureship, they decide to do some other form of work. That is a little easier for them. Yes, yeah, out of the cane field to the doubles.
And today, the doubles industry has provided employment to hundreds, the cheapest fast food which gained dignity and acceptance. But while the doubles were playing on the taste of Southerners in the mid-50s, a young boy in Kirep had a burning interest in books from India, from which he gained insights into his ancestral roots in religion, customs, myths, and legends. Today, he, Sankar Ramnarayan, is the proprietor of the little store in Kirep. He recalls his early start after leaving the cane fields to when he sold books and other small items in the open marketplace, and which led him to this little store.
50s. We started from that by selling into the market pictures, books, magazines, and other Indian items. Then in 1960, when I got married, I opened the store at home, naming it the Little Store, being a very small store in the village. That's how the name Little Store came. As the years goes by, we try to change it, but we couldn't. Everybody knows the Little Store as the Little Store. We couldn't change it to a big store or any other store. It remains as the Little Store.
Together with his wife Dolari, whom he married in 1960, they introduced puja materials to meet the needs of the villagers. As demands grew, they improved the service by parceling the related puja materials into more presentable packets. This also helped in providing a faster delivery to customers.
Well, in those days, puja material was in a very small way. People just used some of the basic items put together, call it puja items. We decided to change the whole system as the society started to grow in more modern techniques and modern ideas. We also developed the whole puja system modern to suit the community.
Through his many trips to India, from where he imports most of his items, he was open to a wider variety of goods, which he gradually added to his store. And as the Little Store grew, Dolari was experimenting in creating a perfect blend to a homemade ground masala in a kitchen mincer, which he sold in very small quantities at the counter. The demands grew, and the brand name Chatak was chosen for that product. Chatak means very tasty. The old hand mincer had to be replaced by a mechanical mill to step up production. A whole new range of Chatak products followed as the Little Store progressed into a medium enterprise, having 3 branches serving Churep, Tunapuna and Chaguanas. Still a family-run business, the Little Store enterprise provides employment for many and is a valuable service to the communities. For many of today's successes came out of the past adversities. In much a similar way, the birth of Chief Brand Curry and its other products endured a staggering struggle out of the cane fields of Warrenville to an outstanding manufacturing company in Charleville. Saeed Khan, the proprietor and managing director of the company, reflects on those early days when he helped his father in the cane fields.
To start with that, I grew up with a family who were cane farmers really. And then from time to time, I worked with them in the cane field. I worked with them in the estate. And after that, my father opened up a shop. And not the corner shop, but I opened up a corner shop, and then I used to work with him.
His father, Mahmood Khan, however, later abandoned the fields of Warrenville and moved to Charleville, where he started a little counter shop. Because of financial constraint, young Saeed was deprived of a secondary education, and he was forced to assist in the operation of the shop. There, he learned about the various spices and the proportions in blending. Saeed carefully observed the simple operation of grinding masala with the use of a lorha and a seal, and with his mechanical flair, decided to explore a less laborious method. This he tried with a small grinding mill to produce a ground masala, which he sold over the shop counter. His market grew, and he updated his machines.
So I experimented with machines and things. Fortunately, we started getting a market at it. And then after getting this market, as I was telling you before, I know the ingredients, I know what to buy, and I know how to do it. So we started on that way. And the market was growing with my product, and it encouraged me to go further and further into it. And thereby, with the help of the government, I got free duty concession, and which enabled me to buy machineries to make a better product.
By the year 1960, the operation was well on the way to success as the quality of the curry improved and the market expanded. With family encouragement and consumer demands, more items of spices and condiments were added. The Chief brand was established. That brand name was an early choice, as Said's friends had long before dubbed him the Chief. And with the growth and expansion, the hum of modern machines had changed the production environment. Measurements and proportions in the mixture of ingredients now occur more rapidly, accurately, and efficiently. Packaging now becomes a mechanical craft. The wide range of products now not only saturate this nation, but have spewed onto the CARICOM market, including Guyana and Suriname, as well as the United States of America and Canada. Closely managed as a family business, his company employs 200 workers in its overall operations. And today, Said Khan recounts his beginning and he credits his parents for the skill of his trade.
And I think the cane field that brings me in this position here today that I have is from there we started. You know what I mean? And I have a business established that we supply the nation, not only the nation with curry powder, but the CARICOM and South America or North America. You know what I mean? And this is what we have ready. So the credit would go, to be very honest, to my father who came, my mother. My father came from my father, his first generation, as mentioned already. But the credit to my old man and to my old lady. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, because he had a grocery, he gave me the privilege to go ahead and mix masala. We had to make a whole barrel of masala because we had that like Friday evening to sell Saturday and things like that. So the credit comes to him. And from him I branched to this, what I'm doing here today.
On recognizing Indian Arrival Day, he respects the cosmopolitan nature of our nation, and he looks forward to the understanding and such other desirable qualities.
It's only when the Arrival Day was established, one gets to realize the root, where my parents come from, where my forefathers came from. And the first place that tells you, they come by a ship, with no matter under what difficulty, whatever it is. And the land, they reach a land unknown to them. You follow? And they had that ambition of something to work. And the spirit, I mean, at least they had children, you know, they bring up the children. And I know, and I confirm in my mind that they never wanted the children to be in a position as they was. So what they did, from them we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have businessmen, we have professionals. And there is the root, of which I'm very, very happy that the Indian Arrival Day was established in this country. That, to me, was one of the greatest things ever done to the Indian community and the community as a whole.
Said Khan will never forget the sweetness of the sugarcane, the bitterness of poverty and deprivation. The man who had turned adversity into success and will always be remembered as the chief hero out of the cane fields to the executive chair. Welcome back to Out of the Cane Field. We have seen that after 150 years, the descendants of the Indian indentured laborers have moved out of the cane field and into every walk of life, and now involve themselves in the fabric of our national culture. Unable to cope with the strain of intense labor in the hot fields, some sought an escape and enlightenment by educating themselves, aiming at a respectable and social upliftment, not only for themselves, but for the younger generations to follow. In the field of education, the teacher plays a pivotal role in coaching, counseling, and directing the ambitions of students to higher levels of achievement toward improving the quality of life. Later, they are seen contributing in every workplace and in every aspect of professional practice. Trevor Sudama, grandparents were indentured from India, and his father as well had worked in the fields. Sudama recalls the stiff climb to his profession in the field of accountancy. He had been a strong voice in advocating a public holiday in observance of Indian arrival. He sees this as significant and, recognizing our diverse society, hopes that this will foster a deeper understanding of respect for each other's overall contribution on a national level.
Well, I would hope that the holiday is appreciated and celebrated by the other groups in the society, and that we recognize that this is a diverse society of diverse ethnic, cultural groupings, religious groupings, and so on, and we want to promote an understanding of that diversity. But first of all, you have to recognize the diversity. I would like to see the holiday be, in a way, expanded to accommodate the participation of other people. At the moment, primarily it is people of Indian descent who participate in the celebration. I would like to see that changed over the years, and that the event become one of national significance.
Today, the sugarcane remains a symbol of indentureship and the final destiny of Indians. Now, no longer Indians with a tie to India, but Trinidadians. Today, we recognize the struggle, the agony, and the sacrifice of those our early pioneers. The humiliation and degradation of indentureship, and the final chapter of success in contributing to the building of a nation out of the shackles of slavery and indentureship.